Hey everyone, welcome to the Put Upon It YouTube channel. Johanna.
Michaela. Hello.
Hi. Today we're doing a video on plants that we do not sell in the store because we have reasons we don't sell them. That reason is that we want to set you up to succeed in plant keeping.
Yeah, and these plants are harder to keep. Most likely they're sold to die, basically.
Yeah.
Like they're the Satan's spawn's disappointment.
That's what we call them. That they're just awful. And they're nice for maybe a week, maybe a month if you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
Some of you are really lucky and have them stay alive for a long time, but for the most part, I would say these plants, like, I don't even keep any of these. Michaela's gonna start with the first one.
So we don't sell any painted or braided, manipulated plants, and that's because the painted ones, that actually stops the plant from photosynthesizing to its best ability, which obviously if it's not photosynthesizing correctly, it's gonna end up dying because it can't sustain itself with the energy it's not properly, producing. And then braided and manipulated ones, they always seem to choke each other out.
Yeah.
So
It's like making you live as a pretzel, and that is
expecting you to be healthy.
Expecting you to be healthy. You can't live like this all the time.
Yeah.
And then the other plant that I absolutely hate seeing people sell because it's mean, and that's Hoya hearts. And especially this time of year, it's February 2nd, and so you're gonna be seeing a lot of these everywhere. And they're awful because they just will not grow. And I think that's so mean to be like, here's this plant that's never gonna grow.
Yeah.
And
Selling false hope.
yeah, selling false hopes, which is just mean. They just are never gonna be a plant. It's just always gonna be a heart that usually dies within a month. Some people have kept them alive for like a year or two, but they're not gonna grow into a full plant. So people are like, oh my God, I'm so excited, I got this cute little heart-shaped leaf, and then it doesn't grow into this. So, I mean, right now, I've been looking so hard trying to find full Hoya plants, like this one. And this is one that we grow in the back. And I'm not gonna sell a Hoya kerrii, like single leaf, because it's not a plant. So the reason those leaves don't make it is because they don't have any stem. So that's why you need this part right here, because that's where the new growth comes out, is right there. And if it's just a leaf from there up,
Yeah.
it's not gonna make it. It's not gonna do anything.
Chances are you're not going to get a full
No.
plant. Some people do, and that's usually because they have a piece of stem.
Piece of the stem. But like, I would say the odds are really
Very, like 1 in 100, really.
Yeah.
From what I've even seen from Western New York houseplants.
No,
it's 1 in
totally.
100.
It's super, super low. And this is a really awesome pot that we just got in by Carol, and she makes these pots, and they have a saucer.
And she made 4-inch ones
And
too.
yeah, she made smaller ones.
Yeah.
And then another plant you won't see us have.
Is like palms. Like we'll have like the parlor, like little parlor palms, because those are a little less finicky than most palms. But palms don't like our area. There's not enough filtered light. There's not enough moisture in the air, and also they're really big on iron and magnesium.
Yeah, they're hungry plants.
Yeah, like very hungry plants, and that's why everybody's like, oh, why is my majesty palm dying? It's you have dry air and not enough light.
And the spider mites
Love them. Love them.
Love them. And then along with the whole palm thing, sago palms, which we don't carry those because those are, like, most houseplants aren't toxic to the point that they're gonna kill your pet, cat or dog or whatever. But sago palms are one of those. Like, they just have to like smell them and then they can go to the vet. So, and be dead. Like, I've read a few things where dogs just have the tiniest bit and then they die.
Or they're rushed to the emergency vet and like need thousands of dollars of surgery just to save them. And,
So we won't carry those since they can kill pets. So everything in the store, like, they might be on the medium to low toxicity. I mean, between all of us here, we have 11 cats. Which is a lot, really. It's just both of ours.
Because we both have 4.
Most of ours are ours. And without a doubt, I would say like 80 or 90% of my plants are considered toxic.
Yeah, mine too. Our next plant that we hate is cordylines, and that's because, I mean, if you see these plants in Florida, they're big and beautiful and pink and purple. As soon as you get one into Buffalo, it's miserable. It just, all the leaves fall off.
The new growth is tiny.
And it doesn't really have pink in it anymore.
No.
If you even get it to be half.
And then another one that I don't particularly like to order is ivy. And for the most part, Ivy, like, it's kind of the same thing. It does really well and then it doesn't, and it's also a huge spider mite magnet, and it's just not worth the heartache.
No, it's not.
No.
Plus, like, if you let it dry out too long, it just drops half of its leaves.
Yeah,
Kind of like
they're kind of picky. And so, like, once in a while you may see ivy in the store, but that's like sometimes we'll order like a tropical mix, and that comes with it, but we'll never purposely order ivy.
Another guy that we don't like to carry is lilies, and that's because they are also very toxic for plants. And that's true lilies. Everybody thinks that. What did I? Oh.
I'm thinking toxic against its smell.
Yeah, it's toxic to other plants. It's fine. But no, yes, they are toxic to cats, and they are deadly. Basically.
Even the pollen. So before,
Yeah.
like someone gave me a bouquet, and I had a bouquet of different plants or flowers. And when Sirius was a kitten, he actually went and smelled it, and he got the pollen on his nose, and he had to go to the vet.
That's insane, because most florists will actually just take the stamens off because it's messy and for that reason.
No, but he had
So
to
I'm
go to the
surprised.
But then peace lilies aren't true lilies.
Yeah, they are not
so-
true lilies. So everybody thinks that they are poisonous, but because they are not actually a true lily, they're fine. They're
Yeah.
actually non-toxic.
And then another one that I find really pretty, but I would never order, is Dieffenbachia camouflage, and I find them like Home Depot and a lot of the big box stores carry them a lot, but I have never seen a happy Dieffenbachia camouflage. I feel like all of them just die soon after coming up from Florida, and I see people always saying, oh my god, what's wrong with my plant? I'm like, they just hate it here. And it just sucks because they're really, really pretty.
They are really
plants.
pretty, like just like how light and
Yeah,
curvy
and
they are.
and the color is pretty, but I think that's another reason probably why they don't do as well, because they're so light and they need a lot of
and they can't
chlorophyll.
photosynthesize
No,
very
and
well.
so they just don't do well. And then cuttings. A lot of people come in and ask us to sell them cuttings, or why don't you sell elbow nodes? And it just goes back to wanting people to be successful and having like a success rate with plants. Like that is what we strive for here, is helping people just succeed in their plant keeping and give them all the tools, both knowledge and like physical tools, in order to do that. And the problem with cuttings, especially of some expensive plants and stuff like that, like elbow nodes, is that there's a huge failure rate. And we will always only sell really well rooted plants. I don't sell any of my cutting or like rooted cutting plants unless they're like ridiculously over rooted. Like,
It is.
And that's because I want them to have the strongest support system in order to thrive. So, and a lot of, and it's mean to like these people who buy these elbows and then just cut them up. And just for a profit, like that, I find that really unfair to the plant.
No, I do too.
And then a lot of things too, like you just reminded me too, is so in order for a plant to grow.
Oh yeah, the nodes on the.
So nodes on most plants, and we're just gonna pretend this is an aroid. Are the nodes are right here, and they grow from like where the leaf insert is on the node, like the joint thing right here. But with elbow nodes, so there's a dormant bud that lies in the node, and like I said, 99% of the time with most philodendrons and aroids and like those guys, the node is right in that joint. But elbow nodes actually can be further up. So if you're buying a node offline, it's not guaranteed to have a dormant bud that's going to sprout into a plant. We're not doing that.
Because they just like cut the node and like maybe an inch or above
and like people have brought in nodes that they've gotten from who knows where, and the one that came in, it was actually like the node was cut in half. And I was like, oh my god,
that makes me so sad.
I was like, oh, poor person.
And poor like plant. Like,
Yeah.
You just had to properly cut it, and it would have survived. Citrus.
And citrus indoors in Buffalo.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like citrus. I mean, just as a horticultural, student and person, like they are butts. They attract a lot of pests and diseases, and then if you bring it indoors, you don't have enough sunlight for them. I mean, granted, some people have.
Some people do.
Those are magical people. But we don't have enough light. They attract. They need airflow and humidity.
I had one, and every year, like I would drench it and spray it down, and it would come inside, and then I'd get all the things, and then I would have to cut it back, and it was just like I got like maybe one lemon out of it, and I was like,
it's just a headache. Like,
And then another plant, which I will probably only sell in the summer if I carry it at all, is there's a lot of people always say like elephant ears, and there's colocasia and then there's alocasia. And Alocasia do a lot better inside, even though some people still have a lot of issues with them, but they do better than colocasia, believe it or not, because they like medium light, they don't like getting too much light, they're okay going dry between waterings, they're not as picky about their humidity, and they're still picky about temperature, but they can handle temperature down to like 65, 60, whereas colocasia are a pain to keep inside because their leaves are thinner. So because their leaves are thinner, they need more light, and they attract more spider mites and issues and pests. They like to stay moist, and so like I had my colocasia electric blue gecko inside for a little bit, and it was a pain in the ass because I literally had like a large bowl thing. Yeah. And it was sitting in water and it was swampy and disgusting. It was happy, but I'm like, screw this. I don't want to smell
it's like that's aphid territory.
Yeah.
Or not aphids, fungus gnats. That's literally like that's attracting them, reproducing.
Totally. So I just put it outside and let it freeze to death.
I like alocasias.
Yeah, alocasias are better. So I might carry some colocasias for the summer, but like, if you ever come in and buy a plant, we always tell you, like, you might have this issue, you're going to need to do this and that.
Yeah, and if this happens, switch this up.
Yeah, so we're pretty good at
we try
to set you up for success.
Yeah, and that's why also if you ever have any questions or needs or anything, just message us on Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah, and we'll always help you. Just send us photos, give us like what light it's getting, how often you're watering is helpful. Yeah. If you can like send a picture of the pot as well.
And make sure to show us like if it has drainage at all.
Yeah. So that's it. Those are plants we don't sell.
Yep, and we're never gonna.
Nope. Sorry. Bye.
Bye-bye.